Hi, welcome to Crafting the Wild with Analia, the Hylian housewife. This week we're going to be doing some very experimental stuffy surgery. Our friend Peaks wants to see a glowy hoppy, and we're going to try to make his dream come true. And to do that, we're going to be taking the face of a little stuffy owl and putting it on this cute hoppy bunny. It's a nice blue color, just like our Blupee. And so you might not want to share this video with younger viewers who would be sensitive to seeing graphic stuffy surgery take place. So join us and we'll see how it turns out. Will it be a Franken Blupee, a Franken owl bunny nightmare fuel, or will it be a cute glowy hoppy like Peaks dreams of? Join us and see.
We are going to try to make a cute fluffy Blupee, and I have this blue rabbit that I got for $3 at Walmart around Easter time. I ended up having to buy like 3 of these guys because I brought one home, said what I was going to do with it, and it was immediately adopted by my children, and I had to replace it. And I was hoping to find a little owl like at a thrift store or something, but the only one I could find was this guy, and he's gigantic. That would be some crazy big eyes. So I ended up ordering this little owl also from Walmart. I think it was $6, which seemed not too crazy. So if the Blupee turns out, it will be like a $10 Blupee. That's not too bad, right? Peaks will be so happy. All right, I'm using some pretty sharp sewing scissors I have. Hopefully I will just cut stuffies and not myself. I'm gonna cut as small a space as I can around here to take the face off because I don't want to, I want to have enough that I can sew it together. So here we go. Sorry, Mr. Hops. See the trauma. Okay. And his eyes are kind of attached through here, so. All right. So much fluff. Okay, yeah, the eyes are sewn on here. So we'll cut the back of those to get them out. All right, one down. Now we just need his new face. Okay, now the bunny's face is off, and with how the eyes were attached, I'm a little concerned. I might need to go kind of deep for the owl's face so that we get where the eyes are attached to. So as much as I tried to cut as little as possible off of this, I'm gonna try to do as much as possible off of this one. So I might even go like around here. So I have lots of stuff to work with. Okay. Your donation is very appreciated, Mr. Owl. You're giving new life to that stuffy bunny. Cutting well onto the top of the head. I'm worried it still won't be enough, but we'll see. There's a joint here, so I don't know if that part from the bottom is really even going to come off very well. So we'll take the fluff with it. So now we have an owl face and a dead owl body that I will bury before my children find it. Okay, so now we're going to try to get his face on there. So I just went through and I'm making a knot by tying it around so it'll be nice and sturdy. And we want to make sure he's centered. So I'm starting at the top here and the top here. So, oh dang. I want to do it like Now you can see right where the top part is. My little tiny needle is getting lost in the fluff. Okay. I maybe should have used a longer one, but I had these quilting needles already. But then I wouldn't get poked so much. Okay. I know doll makers have curved needles, which sounds like it would be really helpful. I'm going to take a little bit of that off. Alright, as we go around here, I'm going to have to probably flip it right side out. But I might just tie it off first, so I can do this a little bit at a time. So, and to tie a knot, I'm just going through, making a little loop. There, I might do that again, just to be on the safer side. Okay, and I'm going to cut it and we're going to see how it's going. Okay, it's a little bit not centered. So, do I let him go to the side and have a little bit of a quizzical look? Or redo it? I just might let him go to the side and try again with another one, but we'll see. Okay, so now I'm going to try to get him attached a little over here. And then I was thinking I'll probably try to do the stitching on the last part and then pull it all tight. Okay, definitely way to the side, but I like him. I think he looks cute. Okay, so I'm going to take out some of this fluff, and I don't want to take it from the owl side because I want his eyes to stay where they're at. But aside from that, I want it to be, you know, a little flatter. Okay. Happy with that. Okay, there's his little string where his eyes were attached. Okay, I'm gonna first tie it onto the string onto here and make sure I have a really secure knot because it's gonna try to take me most of the way around this face. This is the part I think is going to be the hardest. I'm going to stitch through both of these and leave it loose and then pull it tight at the end so that it goes hopefully where I want it to. And we'll see what face shape we end up with. I know it's supposed to be a little heart face, but I'm not sure if I cut it out right for that. I might have to do a second one. And yeah, I did get enough to do another one, but we always want the first one to turn out right. We don't want to have to do a second one. We want it to be the for fun one. Okay. So, catching the ear in there. Okay, this should be the last little bit of hand sewing to get his face on. And I'm trying to go further out of the edge here, so he's got like a rounded kind of, it's not really going to be a heart shape, but it's going to be like that a little. I want it to be, at least. Okay. Just a little hole left. These last few stitches, we'll see what our first kind of result is that we're starting with, and what we need to add to make him look as Blupee as possible. Ow. All right. All this fluff in the way. It's very easy to give yourself a big poke. So use caution. And there you can see where the end is here. And I just make a knot by doing a little loop, going through it, pulling it tight, and then sort of hide the thread by pushing the needle through the stuffy head and pulling it. Then you can cut it right there and it won't show. Okay, so here's our Blupee face so far. I'm thinking about painting the eyes yellow, and then we're gonna add some decorations to his ears. So this is our Blupee, where he's at. I wanted to do his eyes, but I wanted to spray them with a primer. It was the only really good primer I had for glass. And so he's all taped up, and I sprayed his eyes with this primer for any surface, and we're gonna paint them. And I decided on these three colors. It is pale daffodil, bright yellow, and then yellow. So they're going to be darker on the outside and get lighter as it goes in. So I'm going to pour a little bit of each of them in the palette. We're going to start on the outside with the darker color and get lighter as we go in, so they'll hopefully look kind of glowy. And then I'm going to spray them again with a top coat, which is why I'm leaving all this tape and stuff on. I don't want to have to retape them to spray. So I'm painting the dark one around the edge, and then trying to blend it in a little bit to the lighter one. I might have to come back and do another coat of this to get this light color in the middle, because when it's all wet, it doesn't really want to do things smoothly. Yeah, I think I'm going to plan on just coming back on it. I'll try the other one. I think it's going to be easier to blend it if I let things dry first. So maybe I'll try on this one, doing the darker color on the outside, doing the lighter color in the middle, and then I'll come back and blend with the medium color once that dries. Let's see which one we like better. Now we're ready to do the second coat for these. Hopefully it'll blend a little bit better. I'm gonna try to get a little darker around the edges because I feel like I missed a little there, or it needs another coat. But I'm happy with how the center looks on this one. So try to get a little darker around the edges on the other eye. Maybe also try to get a little brighter middle so they look really glowy. Okay, hopefully, I'm trying to keep as much water out of it as possible with the paint this time, so that hopefully it'll be a little easier to get a gradient going. I don't usually use a lot of acrylic paints, so except in craft projects like this one. So I'm not an expert at blending them. And so now I feel like the light color kind of got washed out. Let's try to bring that back. I'm just gonna keep messing with it and playing with it until I like how one dries. Then I will spray a top coat on it. That is my technique. Oh, it's looking nice. And it's just acrylic, so you can just keep painting over it if you're not happy with it. That's the beauty of this kind of paint. Like a mess up isn't necessarily permanent. You can just redo it. Just have to let it dry a little bit first, which I'm not very patient with. Okay, I'm a little happier with this. Looks a little glowy. We'll see. I'm gonna let it dry one more time. I might mess with it a little bit more, and then we'll spray it and take the tape off, and we'll see what he looks like. Now we sprayed the eyes, and we're gonna take them off the tape and see how it turned out. Now you'll notice I didn't go all the way to the edges of the eyes because I thought the dark around the edges would actually be kind of good, but I could have totally been wrong about that, so we'll see how it goes. You know what? That's not a circle that I would have hoped for. I think I need to kind of fix up the edges a little. However, I do think he's a lot more Blupee, so maybe I'll just get the paint and sort of try to fix up around there. And then I might have to spray it again. Diddly dang it. Okay, now we can kind of paint that a little more unimpeded. I think this is going to take a couple coats. But then we can get an actual round eye. So we're gonna let that dry, which is probably gonna take forever, and then come back and do some more. Okay, got the other one taped up, and that one was even worse. How did I have black on there? What was that even from? Is that the original part of the eye maybe, where it pulled off, when I pulled off the tape? Because there was a very black pupil, and I was thinking that was not very Blupee-ish. We can do it. All right. Okay, now I guess we'll just let that dry and come back to it. In the meantime, I was thinking about his ears. Oh, so sad. So sad. I was thinking about his ears and that he needed some little antler thingies. I've got some yellow wool. It's or felt. It's actually felted wool and not the acrylic stuff that you usually find at the store. So it's a nice texture. I was thinking I need to cut some little leaf shapes, and I'm just gonna sew them onto here with something down the middle. So, okay, that's probably good. Now we have all the little pieces cut out for the ears. In a way, it makes sense to sew it on the inside. And it definitely would be easier because this doesn't have as much fluff on it, but I think they're just not going to show it all if I put them right there. So I think I'm going to put them on the outside here. And I'm just going to hand sew these because I don't want it to have to sew all the way through because he's an already assembled plush. So, see if I can get a good, get my knot in a nice firm spot there. I'm going to sew on this middle stalk thing for his ear. Oh man, this is making me want to use the sewing machine real bad. I don't know, now that we're started, it's not as bad. I'm taking pretty big stitches too, so it'll go quickly. And I'm just sewing it right down the middle instead of both sides because it's a very thin strip. This part will go fast, and the part that's going to take a long time.
Some of my children said things like, "Oh, I see it," and others like, "Oh my goodness, what is that?" So this is our Glowy Hoppy. Are his eyes a little disturbing? Maybe, but I like him a lot. The only thing that I think I want to do differently next time, which I am gonna make another one, is I think I need to make his face a little more heart-shaped, and then that would improve him. Aside from that, I think he's a very cute Glowy Hoppy. And for anyone who's concerned, yes, there is a bunny-faced owl out there, and he's very happy on his farm where he can run free. Until next week, join us again and we'll do a new project from Breath of the Wild.